Hello everybody, welcome back to Mackenzie Woodworking. So our project today is to build a resin top case for your memory sticks and pencils and pens for the top of your desk by your computer. So I'll start into it, and what I'm showing you here is there's an awful lot of people that are doing resins, and in the winter time you really want to keep the temperature of your resin about 70 degrees. And you notice on the sides of them, I marked what they are. So two parts of this one, parts of the other one. So I save all the circuit boards and stuff that come out of different things. So I'm just sorting through them. And you can see I put a coin on one, and I just laid a happy face there, which I eventually took off. But the coin is from South Korea. And just to go along with showing you how to keep the temperature warm, I use a crock pot. And I can turn on, I can put my resins into a can and bring them up to temperature. So I've built the form and poured the resin and set in the circuit boards that I want for this box. And you can see you just build a little form. And what I did is, this is a two-part pour. So I poured a 1/4 inch of just a slight tint of green on the bottom. And then once that got hard enough, it took about 4 days. And then I laid the circuit boards on top of it, and then poured clear resin with just a little bit of sparkle in it. So you can see I just had some melamine board, and I've waxed it and put some edges on it, some tape, and poured my resin board. See, there's the division there. You can see that has a light green background opposed to the area around it. So I just locked it up between two boards. So the first thing I do whenever I do it, I knock it all down with 60 grit paper. This is on a belt sander. You can do it on a random orbital sander or flat sander, whatever you have. But I use a belt sander with 60 grit. Then after that, then I'll go through all the different sanding discs, and I'll start at 80 and work right up to 320. And I'll make sure that's all flattened down. And then we go to wet and dry, and this is wet. We put a little bit of water on it. And our final sand, I'll bring this up to about 1500. And then our two final sands, after we've cut it to size and everything, will be 2000 to 2500. 2500 is my final sand. So I'll just keep wiping the weight off of it, and until we bring that up to about 2000. You see, every course of grit that you go up on, you'll see it gets clearer and clearer until it gets crystal clear. So there we're at 2000. And I'll stop there, and then I'll do my final sands once I get it cut to size. So I haven't cut it to size for the box that I'm building yet. So this is block size, but I sanded it out to make sure that there wasn't any imperfections in it or bubbles, because I could change the size of the box. Just quickly showing you, I was cutting out some wood, and I found this when I cut a piece in half for this box, and I decided to save it. Book match it, so that's what that was. So I cut some wood out and found some nice clear grain. This is Western maple, and I'm using a box end joint. And if you don't know how to do box end joints, or you want to see an easy jig to make one, search up one of our videos. So I've laid down some marks here on my router table, and I've put the box together and marked where I want a channel on it. And showing you here that I just put a piece of masking tape on the bottom, because these are stop dados, and you notice they don't go right to the end, because we don't want them coming to the end of the finger. So I've put marks on them, and what the masking tape does is allows you to pick up the board easily. So I've just put the panel in and give the glue wipe off. You can see how these box joints just go together so nicely. There's no clamps or anything on this yet. So after it's been clamped and glued, I just give it a hand sign. It doesn't take much on the side to clean it up. And what I use is a, plate sander. I've made a big plate sander, and all this is a 24-inch belt that's been cut in half. I use sanding belt, and then put it on a piece of wood with a strong back on it, and then you can just go one way, and this will flatten off all your corners nice and square. So I'm just sizing up our piece that's going to go in. And what I've done is cut a piece of 5/8 to size, and then made my relief cuts for the pockets, the channels. And I'll check it for size to make sure it's the right way. And then if I'm happy with that, which I was, then I can transfer all that size to my resin panel. I don't want to start cutting up the resin panel until I have a template. So here it is here. We've sanded that to 2500, and now we're just going to give it a polish. And I use a polishing power polisher and some swirl remover. So this is a machine buff, and we'll buff that down, and this should take you to about 4,000. And I'll do this 2 or 3 times until I'm happy with it. And there it is there. So we've rounded off the end of it, and you can see the channels I have in it. And there's a panel all ready for the box. And there it is. So we've, like I said, we've rounded off the ends, and you can see the circuit boards in it. So it's going to slide out, and I can put all the memory sticks in it. And I also made a fancy panel for the bottom. This is just a layover, a cedar and cypress, and I just laid over 2 boards and made a big X, and then got a couple of boards out for the bottom. But there you go, a circuit board box for the top of your desk. I hope you've enjoyed these. I'm just showing you some pictures from our area. There's our local harbor. Coming to you from Vancouver Island. We had snow today, so we went down to the harbor with the dog and had a look at the harbor, and it looks quite nice in the snow. The dog enjoyed it. So thanks again for watching these videos, and really appreciate everybody that's been subscribing to us. It really helps us out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for any videos, please let me and Kaylee know. This is Kaylee. She's coming to say hello and then take a look out at the boats. We have some sea lions in the harbor today too, but they're not around. So thanks again, and I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you on the next one. Please subscribe.